Welcome to the Blue Plate Special. I'm Andy Andrews. You have joined us in beautiful downtown, flooding Orange Beach. I mean, it is raining cats and dogs. And I know that. You know how I know?
How do you know?
I went outside and stepped in a poodle. My boys loved that joke when they were like 5. Yep, it's a frog strangler here, a gully washer, a fish drowner, a palmetto pounder, a sod soaker. It has been raining hard today, and as they say in Alabama, after a bad rain or after a bad storm, and they're telling you about it. There's old men that'll say that it always starts with "it come up a bad cloud." It come up a bad cloud. Then the barn was gone. I mean, that's. I wonder if they do that in Oklahoma too. It come up a bad cloud, and then everything went dark, and we woke up hours later. But it all those stories starts with "it come up a bad cloud." Hey, click that notification if you're on Facebook and turn your notifications on your phone, and then when we go live anytime here at Wisdom Harbor, you will be notified. Hi to the YouTube people. If you're on Facebook, share. And Sherry Cummins is with us. Hey, from DFW. Are you there at the airport, or are you just there at Dallas-Fort Worth? Patricia Clapp, you shared. Watching from North Carolina, Rhonda Hackney Robertson. Hey, Vicki Gillespie Blair from South Texas, down with the Big Deer. Marcy Crossley Taylor. Good morning from Pasco, Washington. 51 degrees. Spring is here. Man, I mean, it's not raining right this second, I don't think, but it was coming down. Nancy Bergen, hey, from Monte Vista, Colorado. Jacob Norsluker, an acid bath, the dam broke, gorge in the gully. Well, I like those euphemisms. Margaret Davis Haupt, he shared from cloudy northeast Mississippi. Chris Elliott, beware the Ides of March. Hi from Delaware. It is the Ides of March. How about that? It's that was et tu, Brute. I mean, it's like, you know, Brute sounds Roman somehow.
It does.
It's a good thing they didn't have like normal names back then, you know, and Caesar's been stabbed and he turned around and went, et tu, Frank, or something like that, you know. Dave Lerner, hey, having a great week now, and we got the Blue Plate Special. Hannah Gadley. How do you say your last name, Hannah? Gadledge, I'm guessing, from Indiana. We're going to tell you something about Indiana here in just a minute, and Eva Jean Hodge, we're going to tell you something about North Carolina. And did you like the podcast? You know, that one, we sent it out early, obviously, and with Joe Savage and Roads to Hope, that is just, if you haven't seen that podcast, The Professional Noticer, please watch that right away. That is just amazing, and it'll give you some real visuals about what's going on right now in Ukraine, Moldova, and Russia. Becky Alderberry, Toad Strangler, and Tammy Nance. Hey, Tammy Nance. I talked to you in the car today. Sandy Wilson. Hey. Hey, if you watched the Blue Plate Special last Thursday on wisdomharbor.com, you know, Thursdays is exclusively on wisdomharbor.com, wisdomharbor.com. If you watched last Thursday, you heard that we're rolling out text message alerts for members. And so there will also be, the content can come in text now. So this afternoon, we'll be sending that notification out to all the members, allowing them to opt in to the text message alert. So if you're a member of wisdomharbor.com, be on the lookout for that message, and just all you got to do is say yes. And if you're not a member of wisdomharbor.com, shame on you. I mean, what are you waiting for? John Miller from top of Shades Mountain. I've been there before. Barbara Benjamin Hay from Eaton Rapids, Michigan. You know, we got all these states. Joy Walker. You know, you are happy when you get to join us live. We are happy when you join us live. Now, Scott Horberg is from Missouri, and today we've already mentioned some of the states we're going to talk about, but I was reading the other day about just things about states, and I remember having to learn the capitals of the states in geography, and I've actually spoken in every single state in America, and so since I've spoken in them, I've been in every state in America too. Hey, Dr. Barb, how are you? So anyway, Dr. Barb, we're going to talk even about Ohio. I think you're going to be a little freaked out when we talk about Ohio, but we're going to talk about every state because I found a thing that was done by Insider, and it lists a huge survey done of like 100,000 people, and they can comment on other states but their own. And so this is a list of what every state is known for by people who don't live in that state. All right? And some of them, you know, you're just gonna go, yeah, okay, yeah, because you'll agree. And then some of them, if you're like me, you'll be going, what? Really? I can't believe that. And here's what I'd like to do. As we're doing this, especially if you are from that state, if you disagree with it, let us know, okay? But like I remember, you know, when I saw Alabama, it isn't what I would have put, but I can see why people in all other 49 states said that about Alabama. And I'm like, yeah, okay. All right, I get it. So if you disagree with us, let us know. Lindaberg, greetings from colorful, sunny Colorado. So this is the first time catching us live. And so we're going to tell you about Colorado, and it's not sunny and colorful. That's not what everybody thinks about it. I'll tell you in just a minute. North Dakota, people think ranches. Now, I don't know what I would think about North Dakota. I generally don't think about North Dakota.
Same. It's just an empty square.
Yeah, I've never met anybody from North Dakota. I've never turned over anything and seen made in North Dakota. I wonder if North Dakota actually exists. If it does, it's one big ranch. Michigan, people think the auto industry. I didn't see that. I might have said that too. Kentucky. What do you think? The Kentucky Derby, which is the longest running sporting event in U.S. history. Can you believe that? Now, Nebraska, a little bit like North Dakota, Nebraska, people think cattle. See, I would have thought corn.
Makes me think of, Forrest Gump.
Yeah. I would have thought corn, but then, I'm a football fan, so I would, but that's got to be embarrassing for those guys playing for Nebraska, because you got tigers and lions and sharks and the Cornhuskers. So I don't know, but cattle is what most people think of. Oregon, craft beer. That's what people think of when they think of Oregon. I think of a trail, the Oregon Trail, but maybe they were going out there to drink craft beer. I don't know. Arizona Arizona, people think the Grand Canyon. And more than 6 million people visit the Grand Canyon National Park every year. And about 10 of them fall in. You know, I mean, I don't know what that is, but it's like you can see it happening. I mean, because there's always somebody watching. It's just like, don't get so close. Hey, don't get so close. Do you hear me? I mean, that's what happens. Montana, people think cowboys. Okay. Christy, my sister, just said that Oregon, she thinks wine. But Christy, you think wine about a lot of states. You know, you know, California, wine. Tennessee, wine. Montana, cowboys. No, Christy says wine. But Oregon, wine, really? Okay. Florida, what do you think? Theme parks. I think before they got so many of them, they would have thought Disney. But now they got so many of them. And Disney is not frozen. I can just tell you that for sure. A lot of people think that Disney is, you know, he was in the cryogenics and they think that he's frozen. He is not. And I can promise you he is not. I know he is not because if he was, that place would have figured out how to put him on display and sell tickets to it. I mean, they're charging $30-something for parking, for God's sake. Barbara Mbiesa, Dr. Barb says, Michigan makes her think of Motown. Hey guys, we got a lot of people in the studio today. Well, it's just got a modest crowd, you know, people who came out in the rain. Christy says no to Tennessee wines. Iowa, what do you think? You are in Iowa. Do you remember that from the Music Man? Remember that? You are in Iowa. And he says, really, I always thought you said Iowa. And he said, we do, but we don't like it when anybody else does. Anyway, Iowa, people think of cornfields. Cornfields. And I can attest to cornfields. I drove through there one time when it was all like very corny. And man, I never seen so much corn in my entire life. And they do 2.51 billion bushels of corn. That's according to the U.S. Department of Agricultural Statistics Service. But as you know, 87.4% of all statistics are made up. Wyoming, people think mountains. I think cowboys when I think Wyoming. Or I think mule deer. Or antelope. But people think mountains. Rocky Mountains are in Wyoming, as well as the first national park in the country, which is Yellowstone. Yellowstone National Park. So Yellowstone is in Wyoming. And the Smoky Mountain National Park is that's North Carolina and Tennessee. Where is Jellystone? Do you know, Lil M? Now, don't look at me like that, Lil M. Do you not know where Jellystone is? Come here. I'm really not believing this. Come here. Come right here. Just here, kind of kneel down so we can see right here.
Okay.
Okay, so do you not know where Jellystone is?
Is that even an actual park?
Well, do you get the reference?
Mm-mm.
You've never heard of Jellystone?
No. I've been to Yellowstone. I know Yellowstone.
I'm gonna have to talk to your parents. What
What is this from?
Well, you have led a deprived childhood. if you don't
Apparently.
know where Jellystone is, that's where Yogi and Boo Boo Bear are from.
Oh, I watched that.
Not a lot,
Apparently not as much as I should have, but I watched it. So
And so who?
no, they made a new one.
I don't care about the new one.
You need to watch the
No,
new
I
one.
don't even want to watch it. They don't need to remake Yogi Bear. They don't need to remake the Andy Griffith Show. They don't need to remake the Brady Bunch or anything.
Okay.
So, but who were Yogi and Boo Boo always running from?
Oh, was it the park ranger?
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew that.
Mr. Ranger, sir.
Yes.
And what were they always trying to steal?
The food. Right?
And what was the food in?
Picnic baskets.
That's
And
right.
he always went, oh, picnic basket.
A picnic basket.
So I got it a little
Hey,
bit.
Boo Boo, you did good. You did good. You did good. Hey, Boo Boo. Let's go get a picnic basket. Tammy Nance says Wyoming is the most gorgeous state because they have the Grand Tetons. You know, Beaver and Joni Aplin are in Wyoming right now, and they're looking out their back window at the Grand Tetons. Here in Alabama, North Alabama, you've seen the mountains in North Alabama? They are the average Tetons. They aren't grand. They got the grand ones out in Wyoming. Now here's one, Delaware. Delaware. I don't get this. Do you know what people think of when they think of Delaware? NASCAR.
That is weird to me too. I can't even imagine why.
NASCAR. That's like thinking of French food when you go to Arby's because they have croissants. I mean,
Wouldn't like a NASCAR arena, I don't know what they call it, wouldn't that take up like the whole state?
yes, they do. They circle the state. They've got, I looked, and they have like 2 tracks. So I don't know why. Maybe there's just nothing else there. Because, I mean, NASCAR. And I know there are a lot of NASCAR fans, but the Twitter captain and a great friend of mine, Brian Backen, is a NASCAR person. And I just don't get it. I had a guy say to me one time, he said, "You don't watch NASCAR?" And I said, I don't. He said, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, I guess it just never interested me." And he said, "Man, when them big cats come around turn 3, it'll change your life." Really? Okay.
I think
Chris
they
Elliott.
need like a figure 8 course or something. It's too boring going left the whole time. You just
A
go
figure
right.
8 course with, I mean, people are only watching NASCAR for the crashes anyway, and a figure 8 course would make that happen a little more often. I mean, bull riding in NASCAR, that's the only, people are just watching it for the crashes. And they won't even go to the bathroom. I mean, because, they don't want anybody to get hurt, but if somebody does get hurt, they don't want to miss it. What is that?
I don't know.
How'd that happen? That sounded like a rim shot. What button did you just go to sleep on?
Nothing. Just one of the pages refreshed, I guess, and started playing the theme song.
Let me say that again and see if it happens again. Yeah, people don't want, people watch NASCAR, they don't want anybody to get hurt, but if somebody does get hurt, they don't want to miss it. No? Okay. Well.
I don't have a button for the song over here.
Okay. Hey, in the studio today, we have Dave and Cooper from Iowa. We have Kevin, Alicia, Natasha, and Trevor from Indiana. We're going to get to Indiana in a minute. Do you think you know what you're known for? Can you show me? Can you show me what you're known for? Is there a way that you can show me? Do you think you know? Yeah, that's it. Kevin Perkins, old man, is here. Georgia is known by people for peaches, and I kind of get that. The peach is the state fruit, and the peach is even on the U.S. Mint's Georgia quarter, the peach. So okay. Peggy McDuffie says that NASCAR is great for Sunday naps. Other people would say for Sunday laps, but I get why you say naps. I'm with you. Hawaii is known for Don Ho. No, surfing. Surfing. You don't know who Don Ho is, do you? I didn't. Tiny bubbles. That's what he sang. Don Ho is kind of like a sober Dean Martin. You know, his voice sounded kind of like, because Don Ho's tiny bubbles, and Dean Martin would have been tiny bubbles. So Massachusetts, now I don't get this one. I do not get this one. Of all the things that there is in the sports franchises that there are in Massachusetts that other people think Dunkin' Donuts, I don't get it. But Massachusetts, Dunkin' Donuts. Idaho, you got this one. Potatoes. 13 billion pounds of potatoes each year from Idaho. Most of them are brown russets, as opposed to those beautiful purple russets. Illinois is known for deep dish pizza. Deep dish pizza. That's that big a deal? Okay, deep dish pizza with its 3 crusts. Sedentary, metamorphic, and
Igneous.
Yes, the three crusts. Very good, thank you. Mississippi is not. Now this shows no imagination at all for people to say this, but Mississippi is known for the Mississippi River. It's just like, okay. Now this was the craziest one to me. This one this one is up there with Dunkin' Donuts for Massachusetts, and it's right up there with NASCAR for Delaware, Connecticut, casinos.
Nope. No idea.
Nancy Bergen says Colorado has potatoes too, but they taste better than the Idaho ones. Wow, getting a border war out there. Tennessee, country music. That's right, country music. And the country is Spain. Okay, Alaska is known for the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights. Renee Dixon Clardy. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Mississippi, Elvis, Tupelo, or Archie Manning. But the Mississippi River, that just didn't take much imagination to answer that way. But I guess if you live in Hawaii and you think of Mississippi, it might be that, okay? But Margaret Hofstadter, the Magnolia State, the catfish capital. I know. I mean, Mississippi, if my wife is watching right now, she's booing about people saying Mississippi River. I mean, you think about Mississippi has some good-looking girls, good-looking women. In Mississippi is the only state in America that red shirts Miss Americas. I'm just saying. Yep, Kevin. In Georgia, the peaches are going to be expensive this year. Yes, they are. Okay, we've got, I know you would think Nevada would be casinos, but Vermont, people think maple syrup. I see that. Maple syrup. Vermont produces more maple syrup than any other state. And a couple of years ago, they produced nearly 2 million gallons of syrup. So roughly 47% of the country's maple syrup comes from Vermont. I wonder how much maple syrup is like counterfeited. You know? That's one thing that happened in Mississippi. There were some people near where my wife is from that went to prison for saying it was like cane syrup, and they had this, factory or whatever, and somebody tested it and it was corn syrup, so which is a lot cheaper than cane syrup, but they were dyeing it brown and selling it for cane syrup. They went to prison. I'm just saying. Okay, Colorado. Skiing. I see that. Renee Dixon says, what does that mean, red shirt? You don't get the joke? It really bugs me when people don't get my jokes. I'm just telling you. Okay, so in football parlance, you red shirt a player when you just have a wealth of talent. Okay, like if you got this great kid at quarterback and you got another great kid at quarterback and they're the same year, they're both sophomores, they'll redshirt one of them, which means he doesn't play that year and he gets another year to play. So it's a wealth of talent. So the joke meant that Mississippi is the only state that redshirts Miss Americas, means that there is a wealth of beautiful women in Mississippi. I hate explaining jokes. It's like, so the joke is that the chicken went to the other side of the road because he was on this side and wanted to get to that side. And the joke is that it's such an obvious answer that so anyway, I hate explaining jokes. But you get it now? Football. All right, good. In Arkansas, do you know what people in America think when they think of Arkansas? Bill Clinton. It's the only state that has a person attached. I mean, a person attached, like a gargoyle around somebody's neck, I guess. The only state that has a person attached. With all the famous people there are, and Arkansas, no, it's not the Razorbacks. Bill Clinton, that's you, okay? Renee Dixon Clardy says bad roads. That's what she thinks of when she thinks of Arkansas. How many Arkansas football players does it take to screw in a light bulb? It doesn't matter. There's not electricity in Arkansas anyway. New Mexico. People think Los Alamos. Okay, so New Mexico is, they probably are, I guess, most well known for the town of Los Alamos, where the Manhattan Project and the development of the atomic bomb during World War II happened, Los Alamos. Where is Area 51?
Nevada.
Okay, all right.
Tried to find it on Google Maps. It's really hard.
Is it? Kathy Lehman, hello from Arkansas. So it says Arkansans. Is that what you call yourselves? Arkansans or Arkansasians? Arkansasers try to forget the Clintons. She said, we should be known for diamonds, razorbacks, and natural beauty. Yeah, nobody wants to be known for a person. No state wants to be known for a person, because you can bet that there's a lot of people that don't like whoever the person is. And so, I mean, how would you like to be? How would you like your how would you like your family to be known for the biggest screw up in your generational makeup? How would you like your whole family to be known for that. Which it's kind of funny to me. People will say, sometimes they'll come and they'll talk to me and they'll say, you know, we're having problems with my sister, or, oh, I don't get along with my grandfather. And I came to believe, years ago, I came to this belief that there is no family that has a spotless record. I mean, how long has Family Feud been on the air? 20, 30 years? And they hadn't been able to get 5 competent people in a row in 30 years. There's always a bozo in the family. You know what? Name something that goes good with chocolate. And somebody will say, peanuts, show me peanuts. It'll be up there. Somebody will say, marshmallows, show me marshmallows. And the next one is strawberries, show me, and stuff. And then you get down to some guy who goes, broccoli? Yeah. Todd Campbell, Arkansas is the only state mentioned in the Bible. Huh. Noah looked out of the ark and saw. That's very good. That is very good. That is very good. Do you know that Honda cars actually is mentioned in the Bible because it said that the disciples were all in one accord. King Bunda, Pinsy Edwin Jr. Hello, Andy from France. What time is it in France? And I think that France is known for, my sister would say, wine, wine. Yes, wine. But I would say food. But, okay. I'll give my sister that one. France, wine. Indiana, yep, you were right. The 500. The Indianapolis 500, the Brickyard. South Dakota. North Dakota must exist if there is a South Dakota.
Yeah.
If there's a South, it must. But there's not an East Virginia. Mm-mm. South Dakota is known for Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. Kansas. Anybody want to take a guess? Kansas is known for Toto. I have a feeling we're not in our own state anymore. They're known for The Wizard of Oz, which I hate that movie. I hate that movie. I know that people love it. I know that people wanted to see it. We always went to church on Sunday night, and when they showed it on television, it was on Sunday nights, and I wanted to stay home so bad, because every year they'd show it, and they show it on a Sunday night. And one time I was like 12 years old, and I faked being sick so I could stay home, and went, take a thermometer, put it up to a light. Your mom goes, ooh, 113. Yes, you are sick. But I stayed home and I watched The Wizard of Oz, and I would have rather been in a boring church service. I hated it. I hated The Wizard of Oz. And it's just like a 10-hour movie. This thing is so long, and they get to the end, and that witch lady says, Dorothy, you just click your heels together 3 times and say there's no place like home, and you will be. And I'm like, you could have told her that 10 hours ago. We had to sit through all this for you. Oh my God, Maine, people think maniacs. No, they don't. They think lobster. That's what I think too. Monica Early, The Wizard of Oz is better once you are not a kid. Why? What is there to understand about a a lion going. I hate it all. I hate it all.
Even the Munchkins. We represent the Lollipop Kids.
Yeah, you couldn't make that movie today
No, probably
because it's kind of making fun of. How do you say what they are now?
not. Munchkins.
I think Munchkin is like. I think Munchkin is a. I think Munchkin is probably an offensive term. I think that's probably a.
I think it's as offensive as like Hobbit. Like there's the Munchkins.
Okay, all right. Next time you see a little person,
No,
go up, rub him on the head, and say, "Hey, you little hobbit,"
No,
and
Munchkins.
see what he does.
Munchkins aren't little people. They're like a different.
Oh,
like
really?
how
We're gonna
hobbits,
get into
hobbits aren't
this now?
people. Hobbits
How
aren't
different
human.
are they? I think everybody's just like everybody else. I think we're all the same color and the same sex. I think why do you say that they're different, Matt?
Well, it's a different land. They're not humans. Like hobbits aren't humans. Like they look like
Yeah,
humans.
so say that next time too. Hello, you little hobbit. You're not human. That'll get you a long way. Yeah.
Well, next time I'm in the Ozland, I will.
I'm thinking that the tolerance police are going to be raiding the studio. So where's your engineer? Okay. Now, who is this from? It's from Kevin Perkins. You're right. You're right. Kevin says Andy has always had a thing about flying monkeys. And I really hate that part. I really hate that part. And so I just thought maybe my sister or my wife had done that. But George Coster says, stop digging, Matt. The hole's getting deep. Maryland. Okay, so Maine, people think lobsters. Maryland, people think crabs. Okay. Minnesota, don't you know? Minnesota. Do you know what people think of Minnesota? I would be embarrassed. I mean, I would rather somebody think of the freezing layers of the Arctic when they think of Minnesota. But most people around the country think of Minnesota and they think of the Mall of America. That's almost as bad as being known for a person. You're known for a mall. But it's a big mall. It's visited by more than 40 million people every year. 40 million people. Whew. Mall of America. Washington State. Coffee. Okay, I get that because Seattle's best and Starbucks, all that stuff. Boy, Seattle, that is a you know, that area, that Washington State, that is a very left-leaning place, I guess. I was up there one time and went into a Starbucks with this guy that he is louder than I am. I mean, he's a louder mouth. I have a governor on my mouth. I have some control, you know, but he don't have any control at all. And I almost turned around and just walked out because he walked in and said, "Hey, can a Republican get a cup of coffee in here?" I was like, oh my God. Okay, Nevada. People think of Las Vegas. Now, here's an interesting fact. Las Vegas has 40 million visitors a year, which sounds impressive until you know you have been tied by a mall. I mean, Las Vegas, the entire Las Vegas has 40 million visitors a year, and a mall in Minneapolis has 40 million?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. But, you know, Las Vegas, that is the land of miracles. It is, because if you go on a Southwest airline flight from anywhere in the country to Las Vegas, When you board Southwest, they first board the people who need help boarding, who they can't move, they can't walk, and so they board them first, and of course those seats. I mean, go on Southwest, you're just getting what you can get. There's no seat assignments. You're getting what you can get, and so the best seats are gotten by the people who pre-board on Southwest. But in the air, on the flights to Las Vegas, some miracle occurs, because when they land in Las Vegas, those people are off that plane like a shot. I mean, it's just unbelievable. New Hampshire, people think, leaves. Okay. New Hampshire, isn't that live free or die?
I'm not sure.
Isn't that New Hampshire?
I think of Christmas trees.
I think that's what their license plates say. Live free or die. Is that New Hampshire?
Let me see.
Anybody know?
Believe so, because that was the first thing comes up. Let's see. The words "Live free or die," written by General John Stark, July 31st, 1809, shall be the official motto of the state.
Okay. New Hampshire. Look at those leaves and live free or die. Louisiana. Louisiana is known for Mardi Gras, which, did you know that Mardi Gras went to Louisiana after it was first in Mobile? Mobile had the first Mardi Gras, and the mayor of Mobile, Sandy Stimpson, every year sends a letter to the mayor of New Orleans giving them permission to have a Mardi Gras, which I think is hilarious. Oklahoma, tornadoes. It come up a cloud, then the barn was gone. Tornadoes, Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain and your house gets blown and your car gets thrown. New York. New York is known for Broadway. Broadway. 13 million people actually attend one of New York City's Broadway shows in an average year. 13 million. Yeah, but 40 million go to a mall in Minneapolis. All right, New Jersey. New Jersey, diners. Diners? New Jersey is known as the diner capital of the world. Okay. North Carolina. What would you think, North Carolina? The Wright brothers. Yeah, got anything better than that? I mean, now I think that's great. Okay, but their license plate says first in flight, because the Wright brothers, their famous flight at Kitty Hawk on North Carolina's Outer Banks was in 1903. It was the first controlled powered aircraft flight in history. And if you read the biography of the Wright brothers, you will find out that when they did it, you would think there were so many people around the world trying to do it. When they actually did it, the press called them liars. I mean, the press said they were lying.
That'd be frustrating.
That would be. I mean, and to think how much the world has changed in 100 years. I mean, because, they accomplished something great, and the press calls them liars. And now we're all calling the press liars. Things have changed. Gillis Bartles, Outer Bank. Yeah, Serena Stoll. Andy Griffith. Of course, North Carolina, Mayberry. All right, Blue Ridge Mountains, Billy Graham. There's tons of stuff, that you get into North Carolina before you think of the Wright brothers. Ohio. You ready for this, Dr. Barb? Ohio. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is that what you think of when you think of Ohio? But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame opened in 1983 in Cleveland. After being chosen over New York City, San Francisco, Memphis, and Chicago. They chose Cleveland? I mean, there must have been some money under the table somewhere on that. I gotta call BS on that. On Cleveland? Now, Dr. Barb, I know you're from around there, and I know there's a lot of people watching this that are probably from Cleveland, but I'm asking the people around America. They're choosing for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Have you ever been to Cleveland?
No, and I've heard the people that live in Cleveland don't want to be there either.
Let me tell you the worst thing about going to Cleveland is the worst thing about going to Cleveland is when you get to Cleveland, you're in Cleveland. That's it. West Virginia, scenic roads. Now, I just got to say, that may be true, but I can't think of a more boring thing to be known for. What is your state known for? Roads. Mississippi, what are you known for? The Mississippi River. West Virginia, roads. Roads, yes, roads. Okay. Pennsylvania. A lot of history there. But people think the Liberty Bell. Okay. Now, this one was a surprise. Rhode Island. Rhode Island is probably known for the sign that says, "Welcome to Rhode Island" on both sides of the sign. You get that, Renee? Because it's small. It's a small state. And that's why I would say welcome Rhode Island most. But they're actually known for coffee milk made with cold milk and coffee syrup. And this is also the state's official drink. Okay. All right, Rhode Island. South Carolina is known for beaches. Okay, that's fine if you want to be known for your second best beaches. Because we have the best beaches. I mean, your beaches, you can drive on them, you can plant corn on them. There's a lot of dirt in your beaches. Our beaches, I mean, when we dream of white Christmas, we get one every year because our sand is white. So you can have your beaches. South Carolina. If I were you, I would change what you're known for to Palmettos or Clemson or something like that. Okay, Missouri. Missouri. What would you think, Missouri? Everybody thinks Budweiser. Because Budweiser was founded in St. Louis, Missouri, due to its direct access to the Mississippi River, which makes you think of Mississippi. German immigrants moving en masse to the area in the 1800s and the nearby cave formations that allowed brewers to keep their product cool before modern refrigeration was introduced. Okay, we're almost through. Texas. Now, I know that you guys think you should be known for being your own nation, but Texas is known around the country for barbecue. Though each part of the state has its own way of cooking meat, Texas as a whole probably argues that Memphis, Carolina, or Kansas City style can't compare to the dry rub smokiness of Texas barbecue. Now, my wife, she's a barbecue snob, and she thinks nothing is better than what they have in Mississippi. Utah is known for national parks. They are home to 5 national parks. Virginia is known for Jamestown. Seems like there would be more to be known for. California is known as the land of granola. Nuts, flakes. I'm kidding. They're known for Hollywood, okay? They're known for Hollywood. Wisconsin is known for cheese. Wisconsin's cheese-making industry produces 2 billion pounds of cheese every year. Yikes. All right. And finally, we are to Alabama. What do you think Alabama's known for? We're the only one on the list that is known for this. It ain't a person. Around the country, when people hear Alabama, they think college football. How about that? I think that's pretty cool. Do you know that we had a governor a few years ago that during his entire 4-year term, the state kept the national championship? Alabama won it 2 years in a row. Auburn won it the 3rd year. Alabama won it the 4th year. I mean, golly. But people wonder about Alabama being so crazy about college football. And Alabama-Auburn that's 365 days a year. It really is. And the reason, part of the reason I think, is that we don't have professional sports. There's no professional sports team in Alabama. And so, kids grew up idolizing Bear Bryant and Suge Jordan, and I mean, it was a big deal, and it's still a big deal. So that's it for our states. Boy, that was a long show. I hope you guys are okay. And next time we'll be doing all the counties in America. So that'll be a show for a week one time. But hey, if you're not a part of wisdomharbor.com yet, you need to be a part. It's less than $3 a month. If you're getting a year subscription, which you should, it's way less than $3 a month. And we're having a great time. It's helping people's business, helping people's families, schools. And so come on. And we will see you Thursday.